Good evening. The region is being warned to brace itself for more flooding. There are currently 4 flood warnings in Northamptonshire, 2 in Cambridgeshire and 1 in Buckinghamshire. In December, everybody got stuck in.
Massive hit by Tuilagi on Ashton.
To top it off, last month Callum Clark got the longest ever ban for foul play in club rugby.
Callum Clark shouldn't have done what he did. We regret what happened. We wish it hadn't have happened.
When Northampton play Leicester, it gets heated. And the 2 who I mentioned at the top on show for me here this evening. Greg, it has been a whirlwind 2012 for you. Can you take it all in now?
No, not really at all. I've just been too busy.
In football, you win some, you lose some. Get kicked out of the Football League, you lose a lot. How much has it cost you since you've been running this place?
Yeah, we've spent over £7 million now to be bottom of the Football League.
So plenty in store on day 3, and Joe Drury is going to be part of the BBC's coverage. And Joe, so much excitement from a British perspective. We'll start with Andy Murray because, of course, he's going to be the first that everyone thinks about.
Yeah.
Can he go the whole way, do you think, this time? Has he got the mental nous to do it?
Well, do you know, it's the first time
Day 13 at the Olympic Park. The sun's still coming through, and 2 more goals, of course, for Team GB in the dressage and the boxing. Good evening. Yes, we'll start with rugby, and take a look at this for a textbook tackle by Ben Foden. It was his heroics which helped the Saints here in Southend this evening, all wanting to be just like him. And the man who is marshalling the troops, so to speak, of course, Damien Ball. We've been here in January before with you, Damien. You never had numbers like this, did you?
No, not at all.
These are the cars which are the envy of the Formula One paddock. McLaren, Williams, Mercedes, all of them have had their day. Formula One and Red Bull now go hand in hand. It's one of the toughest jobs in sport. The man in the middle, constantly under the microscope of coaches, players and fans, not forgetting the dreaded TV replays. Just who'd be a referee? These pictures show for the very first time what referees can really see and how quick their decision-making has to be. Years ago, Court 2 used to be the graveyard for the top seeds. But this is the new Court 2. Even though 2 of the world's leading ladies have a date here today, they'll be hoping it won't end in disaster. Susie, good evening to you. Yes, many of the Saints fans making their way here tonight aren't particularly surprised that Jim Mallender is the bookies' favourite to be the new England manager. Why? Well, first of all, he came from the RFU back in 2007. But secondly, in that time, he has turned a club around from the slum and despond of relegation to the Championship to a Heineken Cup final in May. Many feel he could do exactly the same thing to England, and it's why Jim Mallender has become centre of attention. Well, this is the reality of life in the conference. Years ago, Cambridge United against Grimsby. Well, that would have been a Football League fixture. Well, now these 2 sides and their smaller crowds are learning how to do it the hard way. Do you remember that first few weeks in the conference and what they were like?
Massively. What a horrible feeling. The impact is huge on the community, and you know, we mustn't forget that, and that's what brings the pressure.
Good evening. First tonight, the plans to force overseas transport companies to pay to drive on our roads. Well, the Millennium Stadium is eerily quiet at the moment, but come 5 o'clock, it will be absolutely buzzing with a sea of green, black and gold. How hard is it to receive a serve at 120 miles an hour? We've all seen it on television. Nino, you're Elena's coach. What is it like to face a serve that fast?
James, it's going to be really tough because the way Bally thinks, she thinks like a gladiator. So for her, it's her first strike.
No. When you're in that moment and you're in that position and you're facing serves at that kind of speed, what do you do?
Try and play little mind games with them where you stand really kind of off to one side, or you stand really close, or you stand really far back. Try and pick it up as best as you can.
So guess, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Well,
the picture here really tells a story. Yes, it's muddy. Yes, it's boggy. But the race happened and many racegoers are going home unscathed. But Silverstone have been faced with some of the worst climatic 48-hour conditions they've ever seen, and they'll be breathing a huge sigh of relief. James Burridge, BBC Look East at the British Grand Prix.